The dust hasn't even settled yet on last night's debacle of a Star Wars episode, the Acolyte Episode 3. It was the worst Star Wars and some of the worst television I've ever seen. Leslye Headland has revealed, in a manner of speaking, some of the inspiration that she's taken from creating this series. However, she hasn't revealed it all. She did reveal a major inspiration for her creation with the Acolyte, and unfortunately, we're talking about the Occult, and I'm about to show you exactly how. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This one, we're going to go deep down the rabbit hole. This really gets insane. And I definitely understand why Leslye Headland won't come out and say that literally the occult and the Satanic Church is part of her inspiration for creating this series, but it is. And we're going to reveal that with you right here, right now. And I'm going to show you these sources and exactly what we saw in last night's episode that is straight from the Occult. But before I show you that, let's revisit something that we revealed back when the High Republic first emerged. The author Claudia Gray created the character for the High Republic, Leox Gaiusy. Does everybody remember Leox? Well, we are the people, we are the channel that revealed to you that Leox Gaiusy is actually an anagram. Leox Gaiusy, if you rearrange the words for Leox Gaiusy, you get Leo X is gay. What does that mean? Pope Leo X was the head of the Catholic Church in the early 1500s, and he's one of the most wicked, corrupt leaders in church history, and he practiced homosexuality with little boys. In fact, history even records that on his birthday for celebrations, he would have little naked boys popping out of a birthday cake. That is straight up recorded history. Claudia Gray never told us that Leox Gaiusy was an anagram for Pope Leo X, but as I looked at the name, I said, wait a minute, and it just hit me immediately. And it's really funny when Star Wars tries to pull the wool over your eyes and hide their inspiration. Well, Leslye Headland totally failed in last night's episode for her inspiration being the Occult. Here we go. I'm sure you guys remember this cringe scene right here with the two girls at the beginning of the episode. Well, pay attention to what they say right here. And guys, we're starting with the obvious one.
As above sits the stars, and below lies the sea.
As above sits the stars, and below sits the sea. Commonly referred to as above, as below. Well, what the heck does that mean? It's been a while back now, but the Church of Satan unveiled a 9-foot-tall statue known as Baphomet right here, flanked by two young children. The name Baphomet dates back to the Inquisition and torture of the Knights Templar, about 1,100 who, according to French chroniclers of the Crusades, confessed to worshiping a heathen idol called Baphomet. And you guys see the historical drawing of Baphomet here with the two fingers, I'm not even going to do it myself, but the two fingers pointed up and then the two fingers pointed below, meaning, symbolizing, of course, as above, so below. So you saw the historical drawing. Here is the actual statue of Baphomet, and you got the symbols. You got the hand, as above, so below. You got the flanking of the two children. Does that mean that this is the witch's mother and this is May and Oshi? Maybe. The words as above and so below are very familiar to occultists. The BBC reports that the phrase is also used in relation to science, the universe, and God, but Levi wrote that by making the gesture, his Baphomet expressed the perfect harmony of mercy with justice. Hermeticism is a philosophical tradition based on the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus, who is believed to be a combination of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. But it's so much more than all this Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology, mumbo-jumbo stuff. This concept has been very influential in different esoteric traditions. And it's also been adopted into modern spirituality and modernism, which is probably where Leslye Headland got this from. We're not done yet, folks. We're not out of the woods yet. Oh my gosh. I've seen a lot of people asking about where the writers got the names for the little girls. Check this out.
Meho Anasaea.
Meho Anasaea. Anybody? Remember Baphomet, the big, huge statue that we talked about? There are many scholars that believe that Baphomet was created from the corruption of Mahomet. Did you get that? Mahomet? The BBC actually did a really good job breaking all of this occult nonsense down. Right here, some scholars believe Baphomet was simply a corruption of Mahomet, the prophet of Muhammad. So, man, we are talking about where you get your inspiration from. A prophet of Muhammad who was corrupted and turned to evil, and this is where you get your pseudo-semi-god Baphomet that occultists worship today. You got a 9-foot statue. Ironically, you got 2 little kids looking at the statue, praising the statue, and doing the whole as above, so below. What is Star Wars doing? Why is Kathleen Kennedy letting George Lucas's creation go this deep into some seriously nonsensical evil? Guys, Kathleen Kennedy has let people create Star Wars that have totally destroyed it. This show is not Star Wars at all. This show is about a lesbian coven of witches. What are we talking about? Why are we even watching this? It is destined to fail. This is going to fail so bad, it's going to be funny. Remember the character of Leox Gyasi. Remember what they're doing here. With all of this witchcraft and all of this mess. Well, let's see exactly what Leslye Headland had to say about this mantra that we got. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. What does that mean according to Leslye Headland? The Acolyte journey into witchdom is not a mere extension of what we have already seen on other Star Wars shows, as Osha and May's background perfectly fits in with the women they have become. This is the quote. As the characters developed, it made a lot of sense that they would be the center of the coven, says Headland, that the girls would be almost revealed not as children, but as the legacy of what their mother started. Here's where it gets juicy. Headland also explained the coven's mantra, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. In our show, the Jedi have the power of many. That's Headland saying that. The Jedi have the power of many. I think their mother started as one. Wait a second. I think their mother started as one? Aren't you the creator of this series? Anyways, I think their mother started as one and the girls are two, and she wants her legacy to be the power of many. So it was with that thought of paying homage to the Clone Wars, but it eventually became the story of a mom and her children and the way that our parents have particular expectations for us. And if Star Wars is anything, it's got a lot of parents and children and living up to or rejecting the legacy of those parents. This whole thing is Leslye Headland's mental counseling session that Star Wars actually made a show out of. This is insane to me. The creator of the series can't even explain the mantra. You know why? Because it originates from the occult. That's why she can't explain it. What she said makes no sense whatsoever. And that's where we are with this show, ladies and gentlemen. This show makes no sense at all. We're going to continue to call it out. We're going to continue to demand that Star Wars is going to come back to the good. Star Wars is going to actually start creating good content again. But you know what? My hope and faith in that happening is at zero. This is a destroyed franchise. Thank you, Kathleen Kennedy. Thank you, Bob Iger. And thank you to all the creatives that have destroyed what George Lucas created. Remember 2 weeks ago when he said nobody understands the Force except me? He was right. Thank you for being here. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this stuff, the power of many. My gosh, this is insane. We'll see you guys Thursday night for our live stream. We are UR Echo Base Network. May the Force be with you. See you in the next one.